Well, on Capitol Hill, they are now in day 21 of the government shutdown. Hard to believe it's been 3 weeks, and that ties a record for the second longest shutdown in history.
And once again, yesterday, the Senate failed to pass a bill approved by the House to fund the government. For the 11th time, Democrats dug in voting no as they fight for more money and for health care. So far, Republicans have convinced only 3 Democrats to vote yes. They need 5 more.
All right, so we want to bring in Dr. Susan Roberts, a professor of political science at Davidson College, to talk about this. Again, we've been at this for 21 days. First of all, Dr. Roberts, good morning, and thanks for being with us.
Good morning. Thanks.
All right, so we're seeing this back and forth, each side very much digging in their heels, a little bit of wiggle room there with Democrats, a couple of them coming over. What will it take to end this impasse? Who needs to give in here?
Well, it's a game of political chicken. And I think I looked this morning. Reuters said this week it'll end. CNN said what's going on to end the shutdown? Nothing. And then one article said, well, Trump's going to go on an international trip on October 6th, 26th, and be gone for 4 or 5 days. So I think it's very complicated. Just, to talk about the impact, and one of the things to organize my thoughts for today, I looked at 5 different areas, one of which is not important. I looked at democracy, pocketbook impact, economic impact, stress impact, and then services impact. And behind all these things, except maybe democracy, there is an individual and a family, and we can't lose sight of that.
Okay, so Dr. Roberts, let's start with one of those that you mentioned, the economy. I think a lot of folks with inflation, with tariffs, everyone's worried and concerned about the economy, hanging on to as much money as we can. How does the government shutdown, if it continues to week 4, week 5, how does that affect us locally with the economy?
Well, I think some economists, and I'm not an economist, say about 0.1 or 0.2 in terms of productivity. And I think if you look at the pocketbook issues, just to say, everybody's concerned. Not everybody lives paycheck to paycheck, but we all want to know, what can we buy? How can we buy it? How can we pay for it? And also just issues about, goods and services. What am I going to do? And where am I going to put my money? Right here, I think in the Carolinas, it's, all 3 of those areas. But I think that the pocketbook issues, this is not a case that people can ignore this. It hits everyone. And I think it's one of those things where people want to look at, what do I have to do to end this? And there's not a lot an individual can do. I will say this, last time around it was that furloughs and staffing at the airline industry. I don't know if that's going to be the ticket now. I'm thinking more the pocketbook issues.
Dr. Roberts, which political party stands to gain the most or lose the most by this shutdown continuing? Republicans are saying we're not going to talk about health care until you guys reopen the government. Democrats saying we're holding off. Who stands to win the longer the shutdown goes?
Well, right now, the Republicans are saying they have more to win and the Democrats have more to lose because of the optics of it. Despite the fact Americans want an extension of their health care benefits, all these other factors are going into play. And I think that part of this blame game really revolves around not just the Democrats and the Republicans, but President Trump and the tensions between Trump and the Democrats, and not just the Democrats and the Republicans.
Well, Dr. Roberts, a lot of people who are paying attention to this now, maybe not even alive when we had our longest government shutdown. What exactly happened there, and what was that impact when it went longer than it is currently?
I think the tipping point there was the airline industry. And I think many people don't know, and they toss around terms like continuing resolution. It really just means the Democrats and Republicans can't agree on a budget. And when it stretches out, really somebody has to blink. And I think at this point, the Democrats may have to move earlier than the Republicans, because a temporary measure of what the budget is will only get you so far, and the Democrats have held out. And I think that people might see that as being really too stubborn. And the Republicans have said, we need to do this, we need to do it now. Between Mike Johnson and Chuck Schumer, Senate and House, there's a lot of tension. And I think that it's going to be something that Americans will long remember. You'll get your Social Security check, but you may not get some of the services. And it doesn't just extend to the national parks going to be closed. It extends to a lot of other things.
Yeah, a lot of military families in the Carolinas as well. You know, a lot
Exactly.
of those families wondering, we're going to get paid. When is that check coming? So, Dr. Susan Roberts, again with Davidson College, thank you for your time, your insight. Let's hope this doesn't go to week 4 and week 5. We appreciate it.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.